Hello, Master Tron Tamer here. I've had some people asking me, when are we going to get to looking at the other things that the Snapmaker can do? Well, how about now? I've got a box opening for you. This is the second box that comes with the Snapmaker. Let's go ahead and open it up and we'll learn what's inside. All right. Oh, there we go. See what we've got going on here. So it's all nicely sealed in plastic, as you can see. We have an assembly guide here. We'll take a look at that in just a minute. But it was nice that it was right up front and easy to find. So in here we have a series of corner units. These are the rails. And these are frames probably for the transparent enclosure. So let's go ahead. That's probably, looks like that could be all the frames pieces. Let me remove that so we can look at the rest. Something is biting me. There we go. All right, let me put this over here for now. And see what else we've got. So these, So these are the transparent panels, some of them for it. And more. Here is another one. That one has a frame on it. Okay, so for the sake of putting myself out of the picture, I wanted to show you though, this one has a vent location here. And I think this is just packing foam. And down here we have More frame pieces. These look like corner pieces. We have one of the bases right here. Unless I'm mistaken, this is the laser base. More packing foam. And this looks like the CNC base. Pull that out a little bit better so you can see that. That's what it looks like to me. All right, we have cables, which are probably going to go connect into our controller. And I think we're on the bottom now. I'll double check that. It doesn't seem like there's anything attached here. All right, let me put this back where it goes for now. Yeah. So this is our CNC tool head. It already has the mount on the back that's going to go into the Snapmaker. It's heavy because it's a serious piece of hardware. Here is our high-powered laser unit. This, we have a fan and a connection for the exhaust for venting the cabinet. This looks like hose for venting it, and we have a hose clamp as part of that. Safety glasses. And another cord. This looks like this might be a piece of wood for us to start on, but we'll verify that that's the case. We also have another piece of wood here. We have tubes because once we put the case on for printing, 3D printing, we're going to need to run our filament through those. Yeah. And it looked like there was also a grill down here. That probably goes on the vent. Here we have all kinds of screws for putting this together. In that section is screws. Let's see what's over here. Plastic pieces and some more screws and plastic pieces. This looks like our tool. We had a very similar toolbox looking one like this for the tools for the 3D printing. Let me pull it out so you can see what's in there. So these, because I've looked up on this, these are actually clamps for holding our work. And there's, looks like 4 of those. There, put that in. Some long screws for holding something on. We have a couple of wrenches, probably for the tool head that holds these bits. So they've given us, looks like 3 bits to get started with. And I think these are part of the clamp, but we'll find out for sure. Oh, these screws probably are too. They're probably for holding the clamp down. This looks like a lens, but we'll figure that out. These are probably for the clamp as well. And a nut of some sort, maybe for the tool head. And this is probably some sort of a calibration block. So yeah, a good set of tools to get us started. Well, I think that takes care of everything. More pieces for the cabinet. I'm going to take out some of the heavier components, like the laser. Carefully put that down. Same for the tool head. So I just want to double check if there's anything else under here. Nope. Yeah, you just have cardboard box under there, and these are actually sitting right on the cardboard box. So we've gotten to the bottom. All right, well that's fantastic. Let's take a look at these instructions. I'm always curious what they give us. One on the wrong side. Yeah. All right, so this is the assembly guide for the enclosure. It looks very well organized. There's a before you start section. Massive number of safety warnings, and that's hardly surprising considering we've got lasers and moving parts going on here. Then an inventory of all the parts. That looks like the ones that we've looked at. A note about lifting these things. They're very heavy. Need to be careful. They're saying that's a 2-person lift. And then we have enclosure assembly. Step by step. Nice full color illustrations. That's good. I'm happy about that. So, let me go ahead. I'm going to quickly review this to see what we need to do to get this working. I need to get the rest of these components out of the box, and I think what I want to have is just the enclosure pieces. I think that's what we'll do first. We'll build the enclosure, then we'll work on other aspects of the project. So let me do that. Let me get some of this box and other stuff cleared out, and we'll get going on that. Okay, I've got everything set up now, and we can go ahead and get this built. I'm kind of excited to get started on this. I've got everything kind of pre-positioned here. I've even got the tools from the earlier build, because I think we're going to need those to do this. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that they want us to do is to build the floor. they've highlighted that on our diagram so that we know what we want to do. So it says to grab the 2 long pieces. Now there's 4 long pieces. I was just looking, but that's okay. 2 of them have light strips in them, so I'm sure that those are the ones that go on top. So that means these are the ones we want. And the very first thing they want us to do is to attach a couple of brackets to them. Yep. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Let me see if I can find these pieces. They should have had those ready to go. Got all the hardware over here on the left. So I'm sure that in there we will find the 2 pieces that they want us to attach. That's not them. As we go through, these might be them. Let me take a look in here. Yeah, that looks a lot like the illustration. That does not, but there's another one in here that does. And there's another one of these thicker ones, so they must go somewhere else. I want to keep track of them, so back in the bag they go. All right. Well, easier said than done. There they go. All right. So the next thing we need to do is that we need to attach it with 2 screws, and they're M4 by 20s. Now last time around when we were building the big thing, they were very well marked, so I'm hoping we've got the same thing going here. So these are M5s. M5s. Now we want M4s by 20. Those are wing nuts. M4 by 40. So by process of elimination, those are also M5s. So M5s, just double checking, M5, M5s. Oh, I bet you it's over here because I've got just a few more bags of stuff. Let's see what these are. I bet you those are them. M4 by 20. All right, hopefully when you're building yours, you'll find yours quicker. So we need 2 of these. I'm not going to be using a locking glue this time around. The same amount of vibration should not be going on with these as would be going on with the machine itself. The torque isn't quite as critical either, so I'll be using my fingers to kind of figure how tight I've got this. Let's see if we've got the right wrench. All right, that's the one we want. I'm looking at the screw and there is a small amount of locking agent already on it. So I am going to go ahead and do the first thing they want me to do. So I'm just doing this till I get a little bit of a bend in the wrench. That is probably sufficient. Now they wanted the nut to come through, the screw to come through from this side, which has got little cutouts in it. I don't think it would fit the other way. Let me just double check my argument. No. So it's got to come through the one with the extra little cutouts. So again, using my fingers to I'm using the full length of the wrench, getting about about an inch bow on it, and that's telling me that that's reasonably tight. Alright, so that was our first thing that we want. I skipped a page there and I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Alright, so with these facing in, it says, we want to put on these corner pieces. And these corner pieces are going to have vertical pieces that fit in there as well. So I am reasonably sure of which way these go in, but let me double check here. Well, the other way we can check it. Well, I'm not as convinced as I once was. Other than I see a place for the screws to come through from this side. So I'm going to go with them going like this, and then they will need to be attached on it. So let's go ahead and see what screws. Okay, so now we want some 5x12s. This should go a little faster because I put all the 5 together. No, nope. There they are, 5x12s. Wrench. And then we just repeat. All right, now the next part and we're going to use 5x12s for it too, is we need to connect the inner pieces. Short beam with screw hole. So there are, both of these ones with the screw holes are identical, and they are ones close together and far apart. And we simply want the ones that are close together vertical. I'm going to double check my tightness like I did before. All right, so we want the one without those to be the one with screw holes, and we want them vertically. Okay, we have a base. And that tells us that we have actually completed something. Good. All right. Now it says with these little ears facing me, it is time to put in columns. And we want to put in columns with a hinge. Well, that's what this looks like. Do I have two? Thinking if it's attached this way, it can open. That means we want to go like this. Kind of a cool looking hinge. And then we're going to put 2 screws up from the bottom into here to make that stable. And let's double check. We want longer ones this time. We want M5 by 30. $16, $30. Maybe this is a little easier to get this started first. Let's get the wrench in place. We have to be very careful to get this in there straight. And I only just noticed that there's a decal on the hinged piece right here that says up. So that solves that question. Okay, I'm going to get the other one started. Oh, I've got this one going in crooked. Okay, well, now that I kind of know the trick to that, so the next one we want to put on the right, it says, is the column with the Hall switch. So if you're unfamiliar with what a Hall switch is, it's a magnetic switch. And this one appears to have one, and it also says top. Oh, they're numbered. This is column 2, even better. So this one must have been numbered column 1. Yep. Well, not quite as difficult as I thought. All right, so let's put in column 2. All right, so we've got those all in. Just again telling us to make sure that we're oriented vertically with the ones that are close to each other. Because we would have to take a bunch of stuff apart at this point to fix that. All right, so we're going to work on the top. So I think I'm going to put this aside for a minute. It shouldn't hurt it to set it over here. so that we can get the top built. Yeah, and then we'll bring it all together. So let's look at the pieces we've got. So here are the ones with lights. These have numbers on them? No. No cheating on this one. So these lights, I'm assuming, have to face in. And I see a wire connection here that we're going to need to connect. I don't think we want it in here. We want that free. And what about this one? No wire on it that we have to worry about. Okay. Alright, so now it's time to do the short beam with holes again. But they first want us to attach these brackets. Okay, hold oriented the right way, and then we slide in the plastic pieces before we put the other end on. And obviously they're going to come from the other side. So the only thing is we need to identify the correct ones. So let me do that and grab those and we'll put those in. Okay, let's go ahead. Now I've got everything we need set up. And we'll slide these in. Let's see, I want to use a particular one of these first. This one. The protective film is kind of sticking onto things. Alright, they said to just slide it in. We need to make sure that this notch is going to face the corner. Catch my cup. I need to check the reverse side as well. Maybe I should just pull this all the way off. This is not working, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright. Let it go into its place. That looks good. So this is technically upside down right now, and this is important because this piece that we're going to put in the middle, they want this shorter part up while it's in this position. Alright, so that one's in. Let's work in the next piece here. Okay. Now we've got another piece to put in. So this one's going to go in like this, with the corner pieces facing this way. It also has a label on it that I assume they want you to be able to read from the front, and this is the front. So let me pull this off. Okay, so this one will slide with the label down because, again, like I mentioned, it's upside down right now. Put that there for now. Alright. Now it is time to put on the back. Now that we've got that all situated, like this. These little strips of LEDs move around. You want to make sure they're out of the way. And there's a little wire here that we're going to use in just a minute, and we want to make sure we don't catch that with a screw. Alright, let's look at what size screws we want. I think I know, but let's double check. M5 by 12. Alright. 15. $30 and 5 by 12. And this has already been attached on this side for us. Yeah, and it's nice and snug. Just double checking. All right. It's just a matter of connecting the zip. Again, making sure the wire is out of the way. And there's one over here too. Move this so I can keep a better eye on it as I bring this together. And this has been true throughout, making sure these are seating in the right places. All right, I think we have achieved that goal. I think these wires get connected next, but I want to make sure. Yes, so let's go ahead and do that. They only go in one way, so you might have to flip it around. I must not have it the right way. Well, there's a stripe on it, and I'm pretty sure that faces out. There we go. And once that's seated, we want to push this wire down into the channel where it belongs so it doesn't get pinched. And hopefully this one will go faster. Yeah, striped piece of plastic on the outside. Well, you know, there's a right tool for every job. Needle nose are the right tool for this job. There we go. Right. Again, we push the wire out of the way so that when we slide in the panels here, nothing gets pinched. And they want us to flip it over. And the next step is putting in seals. We're going to put some in here and all the way around. Let's move on to that page. So we have two different types. We have a thicker one and we have a thinner one. And the thinner one is for the center piece, and we'll be using it in other places as well. Okay. They show us the profile here. The bottom part goes towards the panel, and this goes towards the outside. That means I think it's going to slide in, yeah, like that. So first step is, it's not cut, but it's super easy to work with, so we can do that step. And double check it. And then we're going to stick it in there. Alright, so now we need to put pieces here, here, and there. And we'll use the larger sealing bead for that. And I'm looking carefully at the profile. So this has 3 little ridges on one side, and that goes towards the panel, it says. That's really all I need to know. So this is just going to be a repeat. So I think what we'll do is we'll jump forward so that you don't have to keep watching me do the same thing. But I'm going to do this side, that side. And then we'll be ready to move on to the next thing. All right, time to put this part together. I finished the top and put all the little rubber pieces around it. It's going to come up on top of here when we're ready for it. But we've got to do some more. Put some more panels in. So with the panels, we need to put these notches towards there, and we have some. I grabbed the wrong one. All right, so we have some that have this notch on it, and that goes towards the back, and these notches, they go in there. Before I put that in, I'm going to drop in the metal piece, and the metal piece has a notch out of it which goes towards the inside of the case. So that takes care of that side. Let's go ahead and flip this around and do the other side. I think I'll do it this way so you can still kind of see me. So let me pull out the plastic pieces and put them so we can get to them. All right. So, notch towards the back. This is the one without it. These notches go towards there. If you still have this tape on it, you're going to need to remove that so that those will fit in. Then another one of these. Again, this missing piece goes towards the inside. And let me sneak out this one. There we go. And this piece is going to go towards the back. And that basically sets all of that up. So the next thing that goes on here, unless I've missed a step, is we need to put on the top. Yep, the top goes on the back. Now when we put the top on, we've got these notches right here. We need to make sure that all fits and that everything kind of goes in the right place. So let's go ahead and put that in. So these little pieces right here, they're going to go in these notches. I kind of expected that we'll have to kind of finagle this in a little bit. Doing good there. Remember these wires on the back, we do not want to pinch those. Must be kind of noisy, but that, take care of that. Let me move it around. And we'll get this front part in too. Got those in, but you definitely want to make sure you've got those seated right, that the plastic is in the notches all the way around, and that these little pieces on the sides aren't caught. All right, so in the feeling of expediency here, let's go ahead, we'll tighten these down, 2 screws on each side, and then the next thing that's going to happen is I need to put in that rubber material, the seal here, 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 and here. And that's basically a repeat of what we did on the top. So rather than have you watch all that, I'll go ahead and do that next step of sealing that all up. Let's go ahead and tighten this down first, because that is the next thing we want to do. And then I'll go ahead and do the rest, and we'll pick up after that. All right, so we need those 530s again. Okay, I have got all those rubber seals installed. That does take a little bit of time, so it gives yourself some time to actually do that. As you can see, it's getting bigger and bigger to work with. So I think from this point forward, I'm going to kind of walk you through the remaining steps that are necessary to get this put together, and we'll kind of go from there. So one thing I did want to point out to you is I told you to be very careful because 2 wires came out of this piece here, and we didn't want to get those crimped into or cut by being pressed between the 2 metal pieces. So everything worked out great there on mine. On this other side over here, there are 2 wires as well. There is a wire that's going to interconnect the 2 light strips together. So if this is confusing you, I flipped it upside down so it would be easier for you to see it. So these light strips, this is the top. I'm on the back of the cabinet where I am, and the other side is the front. If you remember, we had one of these cross members that already had the corner units on it. And this is the front one, and the reason they had done that is they had already run the wire in it that goes from this strip to this strip to carry the power across. So that was a wire I was very careful not to get pinched on either side. However, there's a second wire, so there's 2 in this side and there's 2 in the front one as well. They both run having to do with this light strip. There's the power for the light strip that goes between the 2. that actually comes up here and plugs into this interconnect module. Then there's another wire that runs underneath this light strip and comes out on the front. Now, in my case, that wire was tucked away, so it wasn't obvious that it was there. So what happened is that wire got pinched. I did not see it, and I did not pull it out ahead of tightening it together to make sure it wouldn't get pinched. So as I was tightening it together, it cut that wire right in half. So obviously we want to try and avoid that. So look for that wire in the front, underneath the light strip, pull it out, and make sure it does not get pinched between the metal pieces. I went ahead and mended mine. I soldered it back together, used heat shrink, so it should be nice and sound. So that wire that goes up to the front there, it connects into a hall switch up here on the top, plugs right into it, and the point of that switch is to make sure that the door is shut when the machine is operating. So, very important safety feature. Again, I made sure I got reconnected correctly. So, be on the lookout for that. So let's talk about what we have left. So we need to put the front door on, and let me show you that. It's pretty straightforward, so I'm not going to walk you through that part. It's all pre-assembled. It has 4 screws in total, and they connect up to the hinges that are on the front, top and bottom. So that'll be one of the steps. That should only take a few minutes. I was planning on putting the door on after I had it set on the machine. It gives me more wiggle room to maneuver things that way. So I'm not going to put that on right now. What else have we got outstanding to get done? Well, I wanted to point out, if you remember, one of the very first steps of what we did was to put these little ears on there. There are matching pieces to this, and these actually go underneath the Snapmaker's front, and a screw comes down from the top on both of those, and that's how it physically mounts to it so it doesn't shift around. So again, that'll be one of the last steps as it's being placed on the machine. Another step that needs to be done is they give us a bunch of these little rubber pieces, and they fit in these corners. They need to be snapped in. That's going to it will look better, and it will reduce how much air leaks into the device. Well, that's about it, except for we've got a cable that's going to plug into this module, go down, and come out the center, and this is going to connect to the controller. So this brings all the signals for the lights, the Hall effect device, and for the exhaust fan, all come through this cable. So that will need to be connected. It's pretty straightforward. It snaps right in here. One other thing I wanted to mention is not just this cable, but all the other cables are going to come through. Remember, this is the bottom because I've got it flipped around. Are going to come through this bracket on the bottom. So this is another thing I can't really install until I have it sitting on the machine. And they'll all feed through here, including the one for the enclosure, and we'll be good to go. So that's another step you'll need to do. And that basically just leaves the fan. This is our exhaust fan, and the exhaust fan is going to fit in the back like this, and its wire runs down the back. So there's one more step I wanted to show you. To keep that wire out of the way, what you do is you tuck it into the channel, and they've given you a special piece of trim that snaps into the groove of the channel to hold that wire in. So This is different than the rubber pieces that we were putting in earlier. So that will be one of the last steps. When the back panel is put on, you'll run the wire to the same box. It plugs into the top of it. Remember, it's upside down. There are 3 cables that go into it. One has 2 conductors, one has 3, and one has 4. The 4 goes all the way up to the Hall effect sensor. It's on one side. The other side is the 2, and that's for the LED lights. There's one in the middle which has 3, and that's for the fan. Now, these little tiny connectors have a little ridge on one side. I found that that ridge faces towards the inside of the cabinet, and that might help you get that right as you put that together. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at how we get the fan all hooked up on this. So this part's going to go on the back. This is where we will be, when we're ready, hooking up our hose. It will go over here. And then we even have a clamp in the kit for hooking that up. But let's put the rest of it together so we can go through those steps. So, again, this is going to go on the outside. The fan, according to the illustration, goes in there with the label facing out. So once you get yours up and running, one of the things you should test is if it is indeed blowing out. I'm pretty sure if we follow the instructions that we'll be okay. We also need to be careful here about pinching wires as well. And this is, double check that your wires are coming out the right way. And that goes under here. And finally, we have a little safety grill that's going to go on the inside so we have no chance of accidentally getting our fingers in the fan. All right. Let's put this together. And like I mentioned before, we have to be a little careful about over tightening. And that's how it'll be inside the case. And this wire will run up the channel. And once we chase that up the channel, you remember we have a little trim piece that snaps in there that they've given us. And again, this will go on the back. So I think that takes care of it. I think of all the things I can show you. I hope you found this video series enjoyable on how to put this together. I'm going to actually put it over the case, and then we'll put it into production and use it to do some things. But for now, I think that's the end of this video. If you have any questions, please reach out to me via comments. If you've got any questions about the last steps or about any part of the assembly, please reach out. Let me know that you, and I'd be happy to jump in there and give you an answer. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like, and I'll see you in our next video.